and we are here with my man Wyatt Holiday. Wyatt Holiday, thank you very much for making time here tonight on a Monday to come and hang out with me on the podcast. How you doing today, my man?
Oh, I'm not too bad. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You and I have a lot of history. We've known each other in the business for, oh my God, 20 years. I guess I could say now, because I think we met in 2006, and it's
Yep,
2026.
yeah, it's right around there. Yep.
So it's been 20 years that we've known each other, and you're still at it. You're still like, I don't want to say that we're still at it because I do some stuff here, I do some stuff there, and I was gone for a couple of years, but you seem to have been continually wrestling and in the business some way, somehow. I want to start off with the question of why? Why are you still here?
Very, very simple. I have been chasing one thing my entire career, dude. Like my entire career. The heavyweight title. Heavyweight title, man. Like, dude, that's it. Like, I I gotta get close to it or I gotta have it. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta have that taste. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Have you held
that's
the top title in any promotion since you were wrestling?
what's that?
Have you held a top title in any promotion that you've worked over the years?
No.
Like we know you're the longest reigning
Nope.
Aroostook County champion for Crown of Maine,
Right.
right? So you have that,
Yes.
but you never had like the heavyweight championship and any promotion, NEW,
Nope.
Avalanche, Crown of Maine, AWF, like nothing really.
Nope. Cruiserweight champion and tag team.
Cruiserweight and
But
tag team.
never the heavyweight title. And it's like, oh man, I gotta have it.
I think if there's a time where you could be the champion, would be this time, would be now, right? You've gone through so much in your career and so many promotions. And I had the podcast with Logan Lennox not too long ago where we talked about you, and that's your boy, and that's your boy. And I talked to him
Yep.
about how did it feel to take on his father, his daddy. I said in a ring. He's a legit second generation. Um, as a father, to have your child in the same business that you're in, and you're still active. Well, how much does that mean to you? What does that mean to you to have your son a part of what you've been a part of for the last 20 years?
Dude, it's a dream come true. Like my father got me into this business. You know what I mean? Like we would sit and watch wrestling together and he saw how much I liked it. So like every birthday, Easter, Christmas, anything you can imagine, it was always, you know what I mean, wrestling figures and wrestling rings and stuff like that. And being able to do that with him now, like, dude, the kid is phenomenal. Like watching him getting to watch him do what he does in the ring. Proud. Proud, dude. So proud. It's the greatest feeling ever. Like you can't beat that.
Did you ever imagine that's what it was going to be? Did you tailor his path to get into wrestling, or did he kind of choose that on his own watching you?
I think I had a lot to do with it. AWF was really what kicked it off. He was 6 months old and I had him crawling around in the wrestling ring, you know what I mean? Like rolling him around and stuff, you know what I mean? Just like beating on him, just having a good time, you know what I mean? And then we just gradually created a bond through it, you know what I mean? After AWF went down and New Era and everything, I just started carting him to different shows, different promotions and whatnot. And, you know what I mean? Wrestling's been our bond ever since.
So you've worked with him. I remember at the Hardcore Havoc show. Was that? I think that must have been your first one-on-one and your only one-on-one you guys have had, right? The Hardcore Havoc 2, Marcel. I don't think you guys have worked. I
We
mean,
had one before in Limestone. It
one-on-one
was at
or
the farm or whatever it was.
oh yeah, yeah,
And then we had,
XCOM.
didn't we? What's that?
the Edgecombe Farms.
Yes, Edgecombs.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yep. And then we had that other one over in Myers Hill that you were talking about.
Okay. So you've had a
Yep.
couple of interactions like that,
Yes.
but you guys never worked together like side by side, right?
We did once down in Boston for I believe it was UFO. I believe it was. We were
Okay.
a tag team down there. We went against Hyper Poutine and the Big Islanders.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, fun show. Fun show. John Cena Sr. was actually there.
I remember that now that you mentioned that. You
Yep.
mentioned that. Was this year, this past year, or with Crown of Maine, your Crown of Maine time, was that the most you've traveled?
Yes. Yeah, I traveled downstate once for New Era Wrestling, but other than that, CMW has been most of my travel time. Dude, it's been a lot of fun. This is great.
I'll be honest with you. I wish that you would have taken those trips with me many years ago in AAWF when I was taking those trips downstate to get seminars and trainings and get booked downstate. You're doing that. You started doing that most recently. I was doing that years ago, and then you and I kind of swapped where I stopped traveling and you started traveling. It was always great to see you. And I know you were going down with a lot of the ring wrestles for Crown of Maine, and you were really helping out and grinding, getting booked and working downstate and out of state, like you mentioned for Massachusetts. But man, I wish you would have been a part of my time going downstate, which I want to bring up a little bit about that time. So this is 2000 between 2006 and 2000 and like 8, 9. So just a couple years, just 3 or 4 years in there. And at the time I met you, you were DG Harzard, and I know you used to be somebody who I always look forward to working with, because you were, and you're kind of the same way now, where you're just like you're usually up for anything and everything, and you're putting on the
Yep.
best match that you could be. But I know that I remember when you changed your name from DG Harzard to Wyatt Holiday, and I was like, when we met up again, I was like, oh, why? Because I was still calling you DG. I was like, why did you change your name? And you told me, oh, a little bit of history of DG Harzard. Would you be okay with sharing a little bit of why the change from DG Harzard to Wyatt Holiday and a little bit of that transition?
Yeah, so DG started off way before AWF. It was actually we were trying to create a little group, YGW Youth Gone Wild. And like, dude, I was just like just barely in high school, you know what I mean? Just trying to hang on to high school. And so we come up with this little group on the side, you know what I mean? That's where DG Hazard was born. And it was a cool character to begin with. And then I started getting into the whole thing of your character and you starting to mesh. And I wasn't really in the greatest place. And so, you know what I mean? I started dabbling in things that I shouldn't have. And I started bringing that into the character. You know what I mean? And I could slowly start to see that downhill slide. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was just worse year after year. And so I stepped away for, God, what was it? 5, 6 years, I think it was. I stepped
Mm,
away. That way I could get myself cleaned up and, you know what I mean, get my focus back. And the love for wrestling was still there. It was actually my daughter, Georgia. She had come to me and said, Daddy, when are you going to start wrestling again? Light bulb moment.
yeah. How
So
soon
I
how
was
soon
like,
after that conversation did you get back into wrestling?
God, maybe 2 months.
Quick.
Maybe 2 months. I started brainstorming that night. I was like, all right, I need a character. I need a character. And I've always been like a big history buff, you know what I mean? I like the Wild West and Billy the Kid and all the Outlaws. So I took Doc Holiday and no wait, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holiday and meshed those two together and bam, there's Wyatt Holiday.
Why Holiday? The Outlaw.
Yes, sir.
The Outlaw Why Holiday. Tell us a little bit about Why Holiday.
Oh, he's kind of like kind of like a stone coldish figure, you know what I mean? Not so much for authority, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do things my way. It's just my way or the highway, you know what I mean? Like, I get looked at a lot as the underdog. I mean, granted, my size,
Mm.
obviously, but you know what I mean? I can bring that with the outlaw. I can bring, you know what I mean? I am who I am, whether you like it or not. You can push me around, but you know what I mean? I got the heart. You're not gonna break me. So hang on, buddy.
You mentioned that being your size. Remember AWF? Something that used to piss me off is like, oh, lawn darts, oh, lawn darts, lawn darts. But we were most, and this may come back to me and get some heat, but I felt like we were more in ring talented than some of the big guys that were essentially making fun of us for being
Oh
skinny
yeah.
and small guys, right? We were like the WCW cruiserweights. We were the X division. We were the excitement to the AWF.
Right?
In
Dude,
those
I got thrown
times,
through a damn rose bush. Freaking rose bush, dude. Jesus. Just because I was a smaller guy. Doop.
right, right, and we would we were really our matches were way they were very entertaining. I would say that our matches were your matches with with Epic, with your tag team partner, Anarchy. I remember that.
Yep.
And me and AJ St. Thomas at the time were a team, and me and Ray or X Ray Connection, not Hype Man, but another Ray. A lot of the stuff that we did was a lot, and that was a lot of the things that really upset me and motivated me to try to do more in wrestling and like travel downstate and work with those guys and get actual gear and to actually try to get bookings and stuff is because even up here where we're from, we weren't really taken as serious as competitors and even the AWF at the time when I thought we had so much to offer. And I always enjoyed working with you as opposed to the bigger guys, if you will, at
Right.
that time. But you were talking about undersized. Do you think that being undersized. I don't want to keep saying undersized, but being smaller stature than a lot of the wrestlers in the business. Do you think that's held you back? And if it has, what kind of steps did you take to try to eliminate people looking at you like that because you were undersized, small stature?
I mean, I don't really let it bother me a whole lot. You know what I mean? I might be a smaller guy, but I mean, I could still get in the ring and we can still come up with one hell of a match. I mean, look at Jason Maverick, dude. Like one of my favorite matches I've ever done so far. Like, dude, bigger guy or not, like I might be undersized, but you know, still gotta catch me.
No, that was, and I like to mention that match. I talked about that match in prior podcasts. I said they Fort Fairfield damn near blew the roof off of that building when you beat Jason Maverick. And it wasn't just that you beat Jason Maverick, it was the entire match between you two was put together so well. And not being there when you guys were working on it, but watching it, I give a lot of props to Jason Maverick for allowing it
Yeah.
to go that way. Because you know, a lot of bigger guys would treat the smaller guys like, oh, well, I'm just going to dominate most of this match. I give him props. So working with Jason Maverick, tell me a little bit how it was working with Jason Maverick.
One of the funnest matches I've ever done. One of the funnest matches, dude. He is a great guy. Like talking in the ring or whatever. Like he is great. Like when I went into the wall, like he picked me up and he grabbed me and he's like, "Okay, eat the wall." Woof woof. And you, you know what I mean? Like same thing with walking over the stairs and everything. He's like, "Okay, good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go." Okay. You know what I mean? He gives you something to build off. You know what I mean? He's good in the ring. You can talk to him easily. Putting a match together is so much fun.
Mm.
He's just, dude, he's an awesome guy to work with.
Um, um, I'm hoping to get Jason Maverick on the podcast because I want to talk to him about like how he feels about the way he's been utilized in a lot of shows because big guy. I know still early and young in the business, but definitely should have other matches with some other bigger competitors to really
Yes.
put him out there more because a lot of potential. I love the whole big country shit. I love that. So that's great to hear that you guys worked very well. How, did you guys talk after the match?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that spot outside too. The choke slam on the car. So much fun. So much fun.
That's one thing that I talk about is because everybody wants to talk about the cops showing up to that, and I get it, but at the same time, I this is the first show that I really had a hand in, really, for Crown of Maine. So I was just like, I get that the cops were there and everybody wants to talk about that, but it was a great show. The
Dude,
crowd
it
was
was an
hot.
awesome show.
Awesome show, man. Awesome show. Everything in that show was exciting, and I can't wait for our show April 4th in Van Buren to see how all our ideas that we put together in the off season is going to play out at this show. But like, enough with the cops coming in and it's going to shut down. We get that, but bro, it was an amazing show for
Yeah, it
everybody
was,
that was a
dude.
part of
Like,
it.
from beginning to end, dude. Like, the whole night was just amazing, dude.
I wish it didn't end. I could have gone more more that day. More that day.
Right?
Just watching you guys work, and I was popping for you and Jason Maverick, and a great outcome. The crowd loved that. Um,
Oh man, the crowd that night was great, dude. And the holy
whew,
crap chant, like, yes, yes,
yeah.
finally.
There's always a time in our careers where we kind of like we just want that. You could say shit, that holy shit chant. We want that,
Right.
or this is awesome, right? Those are the two
Yep.
that we
Yeah,
we we,
one of the
we
two. I'll
hope
take it, man.
we strive for. So you did a lot of traveling downstate. You did the MPW. You did the Ring Wars. You said you went out of state to Boston. Um, how's that? How is that traveling? And you know, a lot of the times that's part of what we do, right? Is the traveling. How'd you like that?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had Caleb with me, so you know what I mean? Like, he was my travel buddy through the whole time. So like, it was just awesome. Like, bonding, and you know what I mean? Like, after the shows we get to talk about everything that happened at the shows and like what we could do better in our matches. Like, the
Mm,
whole time back we would talk about our matches, what we could do better. How did this look? How did that look? Did I do this right? And like, it was kind of like almost like a constant pop quiz on the ride home, I guess you
mm.
could say. A lot of fun. We had some good times.
I
We
love that.
traveled to Boston, dude. Boston. Ugh.
What
No more
about?
Boston. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. We circled the venue like 5 times and didn't know. I didn't want to pull in because it was in the police station parking lot. And I told Caleb, no, we're not going there. So we circled around, and I found a porta potty deal or whatnot. Dude, never again. Never again. Never
So
again.
so
We
what
should
what
have just pulled into the venue the first time and swallowed it.
so what was it with the police station? What was wrong with it?
Well, the police station was over here on one side, the venue was on the other side, and all I saw was police station. Oh, hell no.
Mm. Oh, so you didn't even know that was the venue because you were seeing this police station.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, hell no, we ain't doing this. Yeah, nope.
Not trying to give them a reason, especially
Right?
especially out of state. Like,
Yeah, that's my big worry, man. Like, dude, we're so far north. Like, yikes.
yeah, what are you boys doing down here? What brings you down yonder? And I know that some of your there was a travel you were in MPW, and you had a First of all, how is it working for MPW? How's that locker room down there?
Dude, locker room is great. Like, the guys down there are awesome. We get to see a lot of the guys that we used to work with before.
Mm,
I think you were talking about Frankie Flash on
yeah,
Reddit podcast. And yeah, dude, getting to see him was just fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we picked up from like where we left off, and
yeah.
so much fun. The guys are awesome. Getting to meet the bigger guys and getting to pick their brains and whatnot. Neil, he's a great guy. You can bounce ideas off him. It's
Mm.
a lot of fun.
That's great. I'm looking to at least make an MPW show and meet up with Neil and chit chat, and especially since we're doing the whole Crown of Maine, where we're all apart creatively with Crown of Maine. I want to be able to build bridges and work with other promoters and creative teams in the state. Um, and Neil is one of them. So I'm hoping to get him on the podcast as well, which would be great. But during that time, you came across somebody by the name of Landon Cross. Now, Landon Cross and MPW Did you know of him before? Did you just meet at the show, or how did that work out?
I didn't know of him before. We met at the show and we hit it off pretty good. He's a good kid. We got to work together a couple times.
Yeah, you beat him up on after a match or something like that, and you guys were supposed to have. You did have a match. I felt like there was gonna be more, but I think he moved because I think, or he's from out of state or something like that now. So
Yep.
it didn't keep going. Yeah, I saw him on Meg Lovo's podcast, the main event, and he was on there, and I was like, oh, that's the guy that Holiday was wrestling down there. Uh, and you're Wyatt Holiday. How do you feel that you share the same last name as Richard Holiday? Are you guys any relation there at all?
No, that'd be cool though, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty cool. That's he's doing some great things and some fun things over there.
Caleb geeked out getting to see Richard Holiday, dude. Caleb turned into a 13-year-old girl. Oh my God, it's Richard Holiday.
Which is cool because
Yeah, it was great.
he worked Crown of Maine and Fort, was it Crown of Maine? Fort Kent? It was him
Yes, yep.
versus Bobby Ocean. I refereed that match. No, it was him and Pipes. Him and Pipes.
Uh,
I ref
Limestone,
that.
I think, right?
I don't know. All I know is that I ref that match, and I sat with Wesley Pipes and with Richard Holiday when they were going over their match, and they incorporated me as a referee, but in a different way. It wasn't me just taking a bump. It was me getting incorporated. Like they were using me to communicate to each other in the ring. Which when I did refereeing just for like the fun of it, because I really enjoy that. The talent never really used me to relay messages to the other talent, right? And then here I am with two professionals, and they utilized me to communicate with each other in the match. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, this actually happens. And I wish that more guys at our level would utilize a referee for moments like that to pass information
Right.
or whatnot. I remember I would tell Joey or Mo to tell my opponent to start the Timu chat, the Timu Batman chat, or the chicken or something. I would tell the referee to go tell them. But then the referee, I feel like the referees are so used to not being used like that there was one of them was confused what I was telling him. Right? I was like, go
Right.
tell him to start the chicken chant. And he was just looking at me like, what? And I was like, never mind. Never mind.
Right.
So I think we should utilize them more. And it's cool to see where Richard Holiday is now. And I would like to get Wesley Pipes back in here. I would actually like to have Wesley Pipes versus Jason Maverick. That's a match I would like to see.
That would be good.
So let's hope that shit works out. I think Maverick is
That'd be
ready
really good.
for some stiff competition like that, So that'll be fun to see that work out. Longest reigning Aroostook County champion for the Crown of Maine. You took the title, and I watched that show again from Van Buren where you beat Eric with a little bit of help from from Steve Archer, but you were talking about earlier about like wanting to win the big one, right? The big title or whatnot. What about this title? What did it mean for you to win this title and carry that title to be the face of that title?
That was a big one for me, a very big one. I have looked up to Eric for Jesus a long time, dude. Like, oh God, IWE,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was. It was still running. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
IWE. Since IWE, I got to do a show with Butch.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Butch? We got to do a
I do.
show for IWE, and Eric has always been my guy. Like Jivin' Jimmy was my guy, dude. Like Jivin' Jimmy was it for me. So getting to work with Eric, and not only getting to work with Eric, but him passing the title down or handing it off to me. You know what I mean? Like respect. You know what I mean? That's all I can say is respect.
That's Eric gets nothing but respect from everyone. You see that he's doing the whole IWE thing and questioning if he should do another reunion show for IWE. Um, if you saw the podcast, he was talking about how he tried to do it the first time. And he got a lot of no's, and it's not because people were like no, but like older age, health.
Right.
A lot of people stopped wrestling over the years and haven't kept up with it. Um, but there's this thing where, and it might have been in the podcast where we talked about it that maybe made them think about it again about trying to do a reunion show, like a legit one, and try to get the guys back into it. Um, when you see the black and yellow IWE logo and all that, definitely brings me back. It brings me back to
Iconic.
it was so far back to those days of me hitting the road and trying to make something of this. And I have nothing but I've had some stories. The time where me and Johnny Primer were gonna fight in the locker room in Island Falls, I think it was, or Brewer, one of those places. But for the most part, I've had nothing but great moments in wrestling and trying to make this something, and like the brotherhood, and a lot of people who are not in the business don't get that. Like you start to see the same people over and over and over again. Like you said, you saw Frankie Flash, who goes as Ghost now. You picked up where you left off. I just came across the Holy Roller on Facebook, and he's asking me for a rematch because he remembers us wrestling back in 2008. You know, like
No doubt.
everyone's so connected um, in this, and it's great to see us who are older continuing on. And now you have your son and Logan Lennox picking up that and running with that as well. He has big goals. One of them is to try to be one of the first ones from Northern Maine to be a part of Limitless. And I told him, I said, you have it. He just has to
Yeah.
continue to hit that road, get those miles in, get those seminars, go to these promotions and try to help, build the ring crew, security, whatever you got to do to so people can remember your face and put and get a name to that face. Um, so it's fantastic. But what keeps you going? What I get you. I know you said the title, but I like aside from that. So you've been beaten up, you've been bruised, you blood, sweat, tears. You've had some hardships as DG Harzard, and then even with that, you overcame that and continue to do wrestling. So aside from just like, oh, I want to be I want to get a top title. There's got to be more in you. Like, what is there in you that continues to have you be a part of professional wrestling?
Man, it's got to be the heart, I guess. I mean, heart, passion. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, like life without wrestling, like those 6 years taking off wrestling, dude, was so hard, so hard, much needed, but so hard. Like, I don't know if it's the heart or just wrestling has always been there in my life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to walk away from it, like, can you really though? Can you really? Like,
nah,
man, I don't. You would have to be stuck in some kind of capacity of wrestling behind the scenes, interviews, podcasts, something. Like,
yeah.
can you really walk away though? Could you really do it?
I mentioned that about you. I mentioned that about you. I said, and I talked about you many times in all these podcasts that I've done. And I said one thing about you is that you have heart. Like, you have the biggest, and when I mean heart, I mean like drive. Like you're a fighter. You're a fighter, and this is what I see from you in the ring. And it seems like when you talk about your hardships as DG Harzard, you fought through that, and it might have been difficult, but you fought through that. So a lot of your character in the ring, from and I wish we would have a more personal relationship over the years we've known each other. I know you lived your life,
Right.
I lived my life. We see each other at the shows, and that's the respect and memories that we have with each other. But is it right to say that Wyatt Holiday is a lot of you because of that? You got that heart that never quit, that never die attitude.
Definitely.
Definitely,
Definitely. Definitely.
definitely. I see it. I see it in your son too.
Oh man, that kid.
I see it in
Oh my
Logan
good
too.
lord. Proud daddy. Proud daddy.
Tell us about him.
Oh, dude. Oh my good lord. Like ever since like he was a baby, like him and his sister, Lainey, the oldest, he would grab Lainey, okay, Lainey, let's go. And they would hop up on the couch and he would be all in John Cena gear, dude. Like he would have the hat on, he'd have the wristbands and freaking he'd have the belt going on, the little friggin' the headband and whatnot. And they would just be tossing each other around and tossing each other around. And it was the greatest thing to watch. Like, this is amazing. And then when he comes to me and he's like, "Hey, Dad, come here. I got to show you something." He was 10 years old when this happened, dude. 10 years old. He comes to me. He's like, "Hey, Dad, come check this out." So I get to his sister's room. Mattresses, pillows, blankets all over the floor. What in the hell are you doing? And he climbs up on his sister's dresser. 450. 450. Dude, landed it perfectly. Hops up and he's like, "That was awesome. How did I do? Was it cool?" So yeah, dude, like, it's awesome. Just getting to see him grow in wrestling over the years. No better feeling.
Mm.
No better feeling.
So it's just always been a part of his life. Always
Yeah.
been a part of his life. What is I talked to him a little bit about this too, but what does mom think of the whole, not only him wrestling, but you still wrestling?
Eh, she doesn't mind it so much. She knows I'm gonna do it regardless anyway. I mean, there's no stopping me. You might as well just let me do it. So she likes being, sitting at the merch table, selling tickets, doing the raffles and whatnot. She likes helping out. So, I mean, if it's a family business, hell yeah, why not?
Mm. There was somebody. So when Logan Lennox turned on you at Fort Fairfield to join Alan Prophet, there was somebody in the audience that didn't know that was going to happen. That's very close to you guys, and I'll just call her Mama Green in here. She didn't seem too happy about that. Did you get any words from her afterwards?
She bugged and bugged and bugged, and she wanted to know the outcome. She wanted to know what was happening, what was going to go down. And I told her, I was like, kayfabe, baby.
Mm.
I can't tell you nothing. So she was mad. She, yeah, she was mad. She knew nothing of it. And man, when that slipper come off, it was like, we got her.
Yep.
We got her.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dude, like just seeing that reaction and watching her follow him the whole way back to the locker room with the slipper is like, I'm gonna get hit with that later.
Yeah. How
It
that
was,
feel?
yeah, dude.
How that make you feel when you got her to feel that way from from the story that you guys have put together? How does that make you feel?
Fulfilling. Fulfilling, actually. You know what I mean? You're telling the story, and when you could get that reaction pulled out of somebody, dude, that is the greatest thing ever. Like, you did your job. Like, you
Mm.
did what you were there to do. We're there to entertain. We're there to, I mean, eventually piss people off. If we can do that, then we've done what we were there to do.
And that's coming from somebody who's near and dear to you guys. The You had a building full of strangers who felt the same way she did. That's how good that whole thing turned out.
There was two fathers in the front row. They were pissed. They were so pissed. It was great, dude. It was awesome just to get that reaction and the feel of the crowd. It was amazing.
Do you think that's part of what draws you back to stay in the ring, is being able to put together these stories and push out this art form to the crowd, and you get to make them feel these emotions? Do you think that's part of what keeps drawing you back, is to get that feeling again?
I'd say that, yeah, it's addicting, you know what I mean? It's like the adrenaline rush when you come out through the curtain, you know what I mean? It's all nerves, all nerves, all nerves. You hit the curtain and everything fades away and it's like, okay, time to do it.
Mm.
And yeah, dude, the crowd just I don't know how to explain. I don't know if anybody can explain it. Any wrestler can explain it. The feeling that you get, you know what I mean? Like it's just it just does something to you, you know what I mean? Like it's just part of the whole wrestling glory, I guess you could say.
No, I agree. It's in the same way. Now I have a lot more fun, and I'm a lot more comfortable in doing what I do now, as opposed to before. I was always like, I gotta show these guys I can actually work. I gotta show these guys that I'm not just a lawn dart. I want to be a wrestler. I'm gonna show you. So when I was first around, when I was much younger, I always had this like the chip on my shoulder, and I wasn't having fun with it. I was trying to prove a point, right? And now, at my age, I'm only 40, but being around for so long and having the new generation coming up, I have a lot more fun now in what I'm doing. I don't have anything to prove anymore. I could have a good competitive match if somebody wants it, but I'm more about just having fun being the bad guy, being the heel with the crowd. Um, and the podcast that I have with Eric, so Eric's retiring. October 24th of this year is his last in ring performance, and he said in that podcast, I don't like to do shout outs. I like to do like inspirational topics or quotes, motivation, tips, tricks for new generations coming in, people in the business. And one thing he said is for the new generation coming in, if you want to do this, that's fine, but I have to give you a warning. You're It's gonna ruin wrestling for you. It's gonna ruin professional wrestling for you as a fan, as a viewer. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that if you join this business like that, that the whole fan aspect of watching wrestling for you is it's ruined because you look at it as a worker now?
Not necessarily. I mean, there are times when you're watching a match and you can like pick something out and you're like, really, really, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, maybe if you would have hit the guy, you know what I mean, or something like
Yeah.
that. But no, still, no,
I
no. I
think
still
that
watch it.
what he's talking about though. See what you just said there. You were analyzing the match, what could have, should have, would have been, and not
Yep.
enjoying it for what it is.
Right.
That's
Right. Yep. Yep. I mean, I guess. Yeah. I guess that could really. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That's it right there. That's
Oh man.
exactly what we're talking about. Is we watch it and either we see things, what's gonna come next. We could predict it. Should have, could
Right.
have, would have, what we would have done, what it could have been different. That's what we're talking about. That wrestling, we can't just watch it and enjoy it for what it is anymore because we have to. Our brains are thinking. We're working in our brains watching this match,
Right.
and I said one thing that I enjoy about wrestling is stories. I enjoy the stories more. I still enjoy the stories, right? And sometimes I'm like, that makes no sense, right? But I still enjoy the stories. But the wrestling itself, that's where it's ruined for me. And it's been ruined for me for forever. For many, many, many years, it's been ruined. Because I can't just watch a match and enjoy it. I got to be extra and be like, nah, I could have done this. Got to tighten that up. Oh, he messed that up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, can't do that.
Right.
So that's what we're talking about. Um, and I'm sorry, I think he might be right because he just proved it.
Yeah. 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 I think you might be.
I think he might be right. Um, what do you think the state of wrestling is now? Because you know how we go through ups and downs in wrestling. It's like there's wrestling everywhere, and then it's low where there's not a lot going on in wrestling, and then it pops up again with viral moments and things like that. What do you think? Do you watch a lot of other wrestling? Do you watch like I don't know, WWE? You watch Limitless? Do you watch GCW? Do you watch MLW? Things like that.
Um, I watch AEW. Some
AEW. Yep.
Limitless.
Mhm.
Yep. ROH every now and again.
Okay. Okay. A lot different than what it used to be back in the day, ROH. When you had Samoa
Right.
Joe, AJ Styles, Delirious, right? Those guys. Now it's a lot more commercialized, if you will, mainstream, if you
Yep.
will. I know they got a new like taping building now where they're doing recordings for shows, and even that looks different than it looks like WWE during COVID. I'll be honest.
Right.
During COVID. So who are some of the wrestlers you used to watch um, growing up? What's your era of wrestling?
Oh, Attitude Era.
Mm, mm.
Attitude Era. Yes.
Austin fan.
Yep. Definitely. Yep. Bret Hart. Oh God. The Hart Foundation. Uh, Legion of Doom. Definitely. One of
I
my favorite tag teams though was Demolition.
I feel like a lot of people forget that during the Attitude Era there was Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation. The Legion of Doom was still there too.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting you said that because I was a huge Bret Hart fan growing up during the Golden Era, coming in to wrestling. and when he was taking on, oh my goodness, when he's taking on like Mr. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like those days back in the days, and then into the Attitude
Right.
Era with him, the Heart Foundation, Degeneration X, the Nation of Domination, like all these factions coming in, the Main Street Posse, the Ministry of Darkness, the
Oh
APA.
God, Mean Street Posse. I hated the Mean Street Posse so
Yeah,
bad,
with
so
Shane.
bad.
I didn't get it as a kid either. I really thought that these rich kids are just coming in and working and whatnot. But yeah, I feel
I
like a lot of
couldn't
people
do it.
forget that it's more than just Austin, The Rock, Shawn, Triple H. Like Legion of Doom was still around during the Attitude
Right.
Era. And you said one of your favorite tag teams was Demolition?
Demolition, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I used to love Demolition, dude. I remember oh God, I don't remember if it was one of the pay-per-views or whatnot, but they lost the tag team titles and dude, I cried my eyes out. I was so mad.
Uh,
Yeah, I couldn't. No, I was done for the night. I went to my room and I called it quits.
Are they inducted this year to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's good stuff.
That is pretty cool.
Good
That is
stuff.
pretty cool. And as time went on, were you ever so you're doing that, you Demolition, the Attitude Era. We're around the same age because Attitude Era for me. But before then, again, Bret Hart I was a super. I was a Bret Hart fan before I was ever a Shawn Michaels fan. Just
Right.
saying that
Yep.
that's I was about him. So let me get into something a little bit more controversial here because I've heard about this mentioned in a couple podcasts that I talked about. Um, a man by the name of Chris Benoit. Okay,
Ooh.
Chris Benoit. So here is what people have been saying. People have been saying that they can differentiate, they can separate the art from the artist, right? So Chris Benoit, the wrestler, as opposed to Chris Benoit, the person, right? Um, some people are still like, "Hey, I'm gonna get heat for this. I'm a Chris Benoit fan. I appreciate everything he's done." But every time I hear that, I hear Paul Heyman. And I know that this podcast, I said I never wanted to talk about these promotions because I want to talk more about us. But this is more about like what's your opinion on this? So it's more about us, anyways. Um, I'm not gonna look at you any different, just in case. But I just want the truth, how you feel about Chris Benoit, his art, and just kind of take it from there. See what you say.
Dude, I loved Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was great wrestler. Great wrestler.
Yeah, he. You're freezing up a little bit, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it and mention that Paul Heyman was basically saying "fuck you" if essentially if you're a Chris Benoit fan after he's done what he's done. So that's what I meant about Paul Heyman saying what he said. And I know a lot of people are still like, "Hey, Chris Benoit is my guy. He's still my guy, and he was a great worker." And I kind of feel where Paul Heyman's coming from, and it looks like you're back. It looks like you were frozen for a second. So I'll let you take it back. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was a fan. I was a fan. I mean, I get the whole controversy deal, whatever, but to be, I don't know, to be like that, I don't know. I don't get that. I mean, like the whole thing, it doesn't make sense. They said he had the brain of an Alzheimer's patient or whatever, but can still travel from airport to airport and place to place. Some of the things just don't sound right. You know what I mean? Like the phone calls and stuff like that. But I mean, people are gonna think what they think. To each their own, I guess.
hmm hmm Well, what do you think? Were you a Chris Benoit? You were a Chris Benoit fan?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. I I went through a phase in my life where I was a fan of hard hitters, right? People who really laid it in there. Chris Benoit was one of them. JBL was another one of them. Um, just hard hitting, right? Like when they came out, you knew it was going to be a fight, right? You
Oh
knew
yeah.
it was going to be a fight. Um, so the whole Chris Benoit thing still kind of crazy. Still a lot of controversy behind what people think really happened and whatnot. They took him out of course, the Hall of Fame. They edited him out of all the pay per views and all the matches, and I get that. It's PR. I get that. Um, and I just wanted to mention that because again, I'm not, I don't look at you or anybody any different way if you're a fan or if you're not a fan, right? It's your
Right.
opinion, it's your belief. That's fine. I just wanted to bring that up to kind of see
I
where you
still think
stood.
Nancy needs a spot in the Hall of Fame. Nancy needs to go. Like, I mean, dude, she did nothing. Like, she was a great ring valet, manager, whatever you want to call her. Like, dude, let her in. She did
Mm,
nothing wrong. She was great for the business. Always was great for the business. Always will be great for the business.
mm. That would be huge if if they want to get her into the Hall of Fame. That would be like newsworthy. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
huge, huge.
Yep.
Um, Thank you for giving me your opinion and the insight on that. I know it's controversial, but the boys been talking about it. I just had to bring it up and see where you stood on that. Another thing that happened was the OVW situation with the referee getting cross bodied and having a seizure in the ring. You heard about that? What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, dude. Better training or like EMT training or awareness, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, that could have been so much worse. Like, uh, just watching it was that was hard, dude. Like,
Yeah,
nobody noticed the poor guy. Like, they say the show must go on, but damn, dude, like that could have
yeah.
been so much worse.
I agree when you
Better
say
awareness.
right
Better awareness.
when they said the show must go on. I mean, does it really? Right? Does it really have to
Right,
go on after something like that?
right.
Some of the guys we had on here, Dirty Dog JB, Tommy J, and there's a few other people that I've watched on podcasts. I say that the guys that were in that match should be fired and not be a part of wrestling. Somebody even said blacklisted from the business. Do you think it should be that extreme for the guys that were still working that match while the referee was having that seizure in that ring after getting hurt?
I mean, I think I would hold it.
You're having some tough technical difficulties again. You're kind of freezing up, but some people have been saying that they should be blacklisted, fired. Um, do I think that should happen? I don't think so. I've been in moments where maybe I should have slowed down a little bit and checked up on someone
Down to
before you would kind of break it up there. Why so I took it over. Um, that that maybe they just need more not the wrestling training, but more of like first aid training and to
right.
have to see and know the signs of someone who's actually hurt and they should be looked up upon. But you can go ahead and pick up your thoughts where you left off.
Yeah, yeah. I'd at least 2, 3 show suspension. Maybe like definitely medic training. You know what I mean? Or like some kind of awareness. You know what I mean? Like you're in the wrestling business. You know what I mean? People get hurt. Stupid shit happens. To have that awareness, you know what I mean? Like it could have been utilized at that moment. And just yikes, dude. It
Yeah,
was rough to watch.
it was rough. It was definitely rough. Looks like he's okay. So that's the good news. And maybe even it got me to a point where I was like, maybe we shouldn't even do ref bumps. You know what I mean? Like, but then again,
Right,
it was a cross body off the top onto like that's too big of a bump for a referee, dude. Like
right. Yeah,
that's way
yeah.
too
It's a little much.
big. A little much. I mean, a clothesline, a little kick in the head, but a full cross body, bro, was a
Yeah,
little much. A little much. Like if he wants to be a wrestler, then you know go that way instead of being a ref and taking those type of bumps. That's super dangerous. Um,
yeah. It's a little harsh.
Long term goal for Wyatt Holiday in wrestling. Long term. What are you planning here?
Oh, long term. Eventually, heavyweight title, definitely. Maybe if I get lucky enough and I can smack some sense into him, Logan, have a tag team with my kid.
Oh,
Maybe we'll see if he can smarten up, get away from Alan.
oh, you gave me some chills. That would be amazing to see you two together. I know in Fort Fairfield where you guys were standing side by side, I was like, this is beautiful.
Dude,
This is
it'd
beautiful.
be so much fun. Oh my god, the ideas that we could come up with. Whew.
When I was talking to him, I said, how is it to be like to be wrestling and your dad wrestling? He goes, we could be at home and be like, hey, let me try something.
Right? Yeah, dude, like that's the greatest thing ever. Like I just like dude, he'd be up in his room chilling and I'd holler down to him, he'd be like, what? I'd be like, we gotta go over this. We gotta try something. I have an idea. And he'd be like, really? Yeah, let's go.
That's
Or
funny,
like
dude.
we had this like little thin blue like crash mat, like a gym mat type deal, dude. It's just this little thin thing. We'd drag that out in the yard and take bumps on it every now and again. But yeah, dude, it was awesome having a little training buddy at home.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like you
Yeah,
guys
dude,
should
it
be
was
great. Little jealous, little jealous. I think I was telling him that I have to grab my wife and say, "Babe, come here. Let me try this real quick." And she'd be like, "No, get off of me." I'm like, "No, real quick, real quick."
Right, real quick, just come here.
Yeah, so that's great that you guys have like that automatic, but one thing I didn't mention to him is how does his better half feel about how does his girlfriend feel about him in the business and whatnot. And she seems to be coming along, right? She seems to be coming along, and I know she was at a meeting that we had, and she's at the shows and all that. So I hope she's supportive because it could be difficult if our spouse, our girlfriends, our other half are against it. It just makes it. I mean, we're gonna do it anyways. Like you said, like my
Right.
wife knows she's been telling me to stop wrestling for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And I just always kept doing it. I've been hurt. I've got concussions. I'm almost broken bones, severe sprains, missing work, like everything. And she's like, I told you." But I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. Because this is something I've always
Yeah, right. Yep.
it. The way I say it is, and I don't know if you would agree with this, but for me personally, it's literally the one thing that I'm really good at. I'm really good at this wrestling stuff. Like I'm okay at other things. I could do other things, but I'm really good at this. So that's why I have a hard time letting it go.
Right.
It's because of
Yep,
that
I get
reason.
that.
You feel like that too about wrestling? You're really good at it. It's kind of hard to let go of something you're
Oh
really good
no,
at.
no, no. I mean, like, oh, not that I'm really good at it. I just enjoy doing it that
Mm.
much. You know what I mean? And to not have that,
So maybe I could take it back and say it this way instead. There's nothing in this world that I know more about than professional wrestling.
right,
There's nothing more. I don't know vehicles. I don't know math. I don't know fucking anything else. I know professional wrestling. That's what I know. I know I got a history in my brain of things that I've witnessed and watched and know about and you do as well. You mentioned it. Demolition, Legion of Doom, Bret Hart. That's old. That's back in the day, right? We have this
yep,
history of professional wrestling. I don't have that for anything else at all. I know wrestling. So maybe
right,
it's not that I'm good. Maybe it's not that I'm good at it, but maybe that I know so much about it that it feels good to be a part of it the way we are.
right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Um, so that was long term. You want to hold a title. I've never really held the title up here for anyone, but I've always worked and I've always enjoyed having matches with people, whether it be title, non-title. I just want to put on a good match with people. Um, I'm looking forward to working you again because I don't think I've actually worked you where you are now. I never wrestled Wyatt Holiday and where you are now. I wrestled DG way back in the day. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to stepping in the ring with you, and seeing how that goes between myself and you at our age, in our experience.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
with age comes experience, right? You
Might be
know,
a little bit slower pace.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you see more of like a brawler. Like you talked about your size and being undersized. Like you go to toe with everybody you get in the ring with, no matter what their size is. You're throwing blows
Right.
in that ring. So we need
Yeah,
more of a striker.
I'm gonna switch some stuff up this year. I think wrestling style wise and stuff, there's gonna be some changes
Mm,
for Wyatt. So
hell yeah. We're looking forward
yeah,
to that. Looking forward to that. So we have the first show in Van Buren, uh, April 4th. That's coming up. Got some fun stuff going on for that show. I feel really good about, like, we're excited for what we're hoping for, a big crowd. And it feels, this first show feels like the biggest show we've ever had. And we haven't even had the show yet,
right.
right? There's a lot going on for this show, and a lot is riding this year. You said you're going through some changes for White Holiday this year. Crown and Main Wrestling is going through some changes as well, but I think it's going in a good direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that's gonna play out. Um, One more thing, because again, you've been up and down, you've been through all these promotions, you've been out of state. Um, who is one person? And I said this to Logan too. I said, let's be realistic, right? Budget wise, we don't have an unlimited budget, so let's be realistic when I ask you this question. Who is somebody that you haven't worked yet, you haven't wrestled yet, that you would love to have the opportunity to work with?
Alexander Lee. Alexander Lee.
Why?
A very, very long time ago, New Era Wrestling. We did a show in Fort Fairfield. I wrestled you actually that night in Fort Fairfield,
Okay.
and Scotty Vegas was in our locker room, and I had my eye on him for a long time. Like I looked up to that kid like he was the shit back then. Like he was my dude, and I'd gotten to talk to him and get in his ear a little bit. And what if we work together, like someday down the road? What if we have a match? And we talked about it, and New Era Wrestling went away. That went under, and
So you're freezing up again. So I'll take it from here again. Scotty Vegas was
I ran.
you. Just hold that thought. Hold that thought, White. You're breaking up again. You're breaking up again. So I'm taking it. Scotty Vegas was definitely somebody up north. That a lot of us up here looked at Scotty Vegas like, that's the guy. Like that's the guy that I want to wrestle. That's our guy, right? I remember he came up for a night show for AWF, and we were able to mess around a little bit and take some moves with him, and he took my frog splash, and then I maybe want to work with him even more to go downstate and travel and try to have that match. I was lucky enough to have a match against him. He was Alexander Lee at the time. He's just transitioning over, I think, or he was still Scotty Vegas at the end of his run at Scotty Vegas. But I got to work him so I'm super super excited about that. So I'm sorry. So you froze up a little bit, but go right ahead. Alexander Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, Alexander Lee. Like oh man, I've been wanting to go against him forever, ever since he was Scotty Vegas. You know what I mean? And it never happened. And I saw him at the MPW show, and we got to talking, and he's like, "We've got to make it happen." So it's I've got to make it happen. I mean, I think I put the bug in Amanda, or yeah, I think I put the bug in Amanda's ear a couple weeks
Mm,
ago. I think.
mm. This is, I think this would be really good for you, especially after your match with Jason Maverick. Keep in mind, it is no longer Scotty by God Vegas. It is the hardcore Jesus,
Yeah, dude, I love that
Alexander Lee.
character. Love that character. It's got to be a hardcore match, though. We got to do it hardcore.
Whatever we got to do.
I am a glutton for punishment, man. I'm a glutton for punishment. I swear to God.
Alexander Lee, you heard it. You heard it here. You take on our Wyatt Holiday. This guy has so much heart and drive, and just listen. You can beat him down, but he keeps coming back for more and more and more. Ask Jason Maverick. So we're just gonna clip that, send it to Alexander Lee. We got a spot for you if you want to take on Wyatt Holiday. Check out his work because it'll definitely be fun and definitely draw. So I don't like to do social media, where can we find you, stuff like that, at all. But thank you for joining me here again. It's Monday. Making time here today to join me. So no social medias, but any words of encouragement or motivation or inspirational things you could say to people that may want to be getting into the business, or people who are new who just got into the business, that you would like to share before we go.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. A lot of people are going to talk trash. Don't damn listen. Don't damn listen. You got a heart. You got a brain for a reason. If you want it, dig deep and get it. You can do it.
Absolutely. That, my friends, is Wyatt Holiday. I am Lewis, and this has been the Beyond the Crown podcast.